Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. President Bola Tinubu says the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS, is committed to upholding good governance and combating terrorism. He stated this in Beijing, China, while addressing a high-level meeting on peace and security at the 2024 Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. President Tinubu reiterated Nigeria's commitment to promoting peace and security across West Africa, commending China's contributions to Africa's development through initiatives like the Belt and Road Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. Tinubu highlighted the importance of confronting the root of conflict, such as poverty, inequality, and social injustice, emphasizing that true peace is not just the absence of war, but the presence of justice, equity, economic opportunity, and human security. At least 1,000 women, petty traders in Zamfara State, have benefited from First Lady's Oluremi Tinubu's Renewed Hope Initiative program. Each of the beneficiaries received a cash donation of 50,000 naira under the program with a view to boosting their businesses. The Renewed Hope Initiative is the First Lady's pet project driven towards economic growth and better life for the women folks. The program targets women operators of small and medium enterprises, especially women petty traders who are considered to be the backbone of the economy. The National Economic Council, NEC, has given September 9th deadline to 4 states to submit reports from their states on the establishment of state police. The NEC also resolved to adopt the comprehensive reports from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, warning that any decision taken will be building on states that flout the deadline. This is coming on the heels of federal government release of 3 billion naira to states affected by flood ravaging the country. Sharon Ajay has the story.
Briefing State House correspondents at the end of the NEC meeting presided over by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The acting governor of Oyo State, Abdurrahim Lawal, says the 36 states of the Federation were expected to submit their reports for consideration at the meeting, noting that the council will take appropriate decisions if the state fail to present their reports by the deadline.
All the states were supposed to submit for consideration of the NEC. Incidentally, 4 states couldn't submit, and for that purpose, NEC decided that those states must make their submissions on or before Monday next week. Otherwise, whatever decision NEC takes on the establishment of state police will be binding on those states that refuse to submit, to make submissions. So that is the resolution.
Governor of Bauchi State, Bala Muhammad, said NEC discussed exhaustively the flood situation across the state and that the governors acknowledged the support of the federal government in terms of releasing 3 billion naira as a measure to ensure that at least they provide palliative in this regard.
Council today discussed exhaustively on the issue of flood situation across the states, and the governors acknowledge the support from the federal government in terms of releasing 3 billion as a small measure to ensure that at least we provide palliation for the flood. The flood was more devastating along the northeast axis, where the major artery between Kano and Maiduguri has been cut off, with devastating effects on households, schools, bridges, and other means of livelihoods.
Meanwhile, chairman of Dangote Foundation, Aliko Dangote, and Bill Gates were among the dignitaries at the National Economic Council. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
High Court in Abuja has reserved judgment in the suit filed by the All Progressives Congress (APC) seeking to stop Rivers State local government election fixed for October 5th, 2024. The court, presided over by Justice Peter Alifu, had adjourned the matter to allow the plaintiff effect service of court processes on the Inspector General of Police and the defendants in the suit. The APC, in its application, prayed the court to pronounce that the Independent National Electoral Commission could only release the register to Rivers State's Independent Electoral Commission. The Nigeria Correctional Service says the federal government had increased the feeding allowance for prison inmates. It also disclosed that over 1,000 inmates are currently pursuing university degrees, while 6 are studying for PhD. The increase in inmates feeding allowances follows a recent viral video in which inmates at a correctional center in Calabar, Cross River State, complained about inadequate feeding. Minister of Niger Delta, Abubakar Momor, has condemned the gun attack on governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Edo State September 12 poll. Senator Monday Okwebelo's campaign train, allegedly by a councillor in Ososo community, Akoko Edo local government area, at the kickoff of the party's Edo North rally. Anthony Mamadou reports that gunshots were fired as the convoy exited the campaign, leading to a stampede.
APC governorship candidate Senator Monday Okpeholo has assured the people and electorate of Edo North of his unwavering commitment to end Edo youth's travails and the lack of basic amenities, as Senator Adams Oshomole and other chieftains of the party called on the electorate to vote out the PDP.
To keep Edo united. Edo has never been divided the way it is now today. Our traditional rulers are not respected. Do you want our traditional rulers respected? Yes! By the grace of God, we will do everything possible to make Edo happy and to return Edo back to a new Edo of our dream.
The next executive governor of Edo State, distinguished Senator Monday.
As it stands today, Akpakomiza will win the election in Edo State. Starting from Akoko Edo, where I come from, over 45 towns and villages. There is no ward you visit today that will not see an APC government project.
But I never tell you, I'm saying that they kidnap you now. So that be the reason where everybody go vote for APC.
The youths and other stakeholders in Udo, Obasuwa, Usen, and Udo communities respectively backed the APC to change their fortunes and that of their communities with better policies, programs, and empowerment. They also expressed total belief in the APC's candidature to sweep the polls come September 21st.
It's a boy and a man that we can rely on, a man who can deliver Edo State, not the people that are liars.
The people of Ward 6 are expecting development.
Only expecting, by the special grace of the Almighty God, is victory. And we have seen the difference between the administration of the comrade governor, Adams Oshomole, and the present MOU government. Despite the fact that we have somebody that they call the deputy governor that has been given to us from the state, we are proving a point that we are going to win the world. Not just winning the world, we are going to win the local government.
We are expecting roads, we are expecting boreholes and many other things. Primary school, we are dilapidated, but no reconstruction of all those primary schools.
The promise from the APC youth leaders, Edolite, and other community leaders assuring the APC party of a total victory at the polls is a pointer to the support enjoyed by Senator Monday Okpeholo. Anthony Momodu reporting for Global Television in Benin City, Edo State.
Residents from security-affected communities in Shiroro local government area of Niger State have reported that terrorists and bandits are enslaving locals to work on their farms. A leader of a terrorist group had reportedly collected over 20 bags of soybeans from farms in Alawa and neighboring communities this year. At an emergency media conference in Minna, the Niger state capital, Saidu Salihu, secretary of the Coalition of Shiroro Associations, a coalition of youth organizations in the local government, called for the return of military forces to Alawa and surrounding areas to allow displaced residents return to farming. You're watching News Cycle on Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When the News Cycle returns, Interior Minister says Kenyan school dump fire injury to whole country. Whole count. Details of this and more after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the News Cycle. In business, President Bola Tinubu has commended the flourishing economic partnership between China and Africa, which has seen trade between the two parties reaching an estimated $280 billion. Nigerian leader was speaking during the opening ceremony of the 2024 summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation taking place in Beijing, China. Sharon Ajay reports.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says despite global challenges, the partnership has remained firm. He emphasized the importance of maintaining the momentum in order to deepen the partnership for the mutual benefit of both regions.
One of the highlights of this collaboration has been the flourishing economic partnership. Trade between Africa and China has grown exponentially, reaching an estimated $280 billion. These impressive figures speak volumes about the strength of our economic relationship.
Leaders and their entourage from across Africa has flown into Beijing since Saturday, keeping President Xi Jinping busy with bilateral meetings all week. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
As Nigerians eagerly await the release of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, from the $20 billion Dangote Petroleum Refinery, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says it will lift the product from the plant on September 15th, but outline factors that will determine its price. It says foreign exchange rates and market forces would influence the cost of petrol, stressing that the market had been deregulated. This came as oil marketers declared that about 2,000 tankers were still awaiting to load the product at various depots of the National Oil Company in Lagos, Warri, and Port Harcourt. Embattled former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has filed applications to challenge the forfeiture of his assets to the federal government by the court. Since his removal from office, the Federal High Court, through the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, has obtained a series of court orders forfeiting Emefiele's funds and landed assets. The latest of such forfeiture order was obtained by the EFCC on August 12, 2014, when Justice Akintayo Aluko ordered the interim forfeiture of $2.45 million and several properties connected to Emefiele. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Senator Heineken Lukbobiri, has stated that the availability of supply of petrol prices will result in the stability of prices across the country. The minister made this statement while addressing State House correspondents following a meeting with Vice President Kashim Shettima. Lukbobiri noted that the industry had been deregulated and the government was no longer setting prices. The spokesperson for the Nigeria Customs Service, Abdullahi Maiwada, announced that the service collected 277.5 billion naira in import duties for the month of August. Maiwada shared this information during the monthly press conference organized by the Strategic Communication Interagency Policy Committee, which was hosted by the Nigerian Customs Service in Abuja. He further highlighted that the service also collected 15.8 billion naira in excise duties, reinforcing its commitment to optimizing revenue generation. On the foreign scene, Hamas called on the United States to exert real pressure on Israel to reach a Gaza ceasefire agreement as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there was no deal in the making. The two sides have traded blame over stalling talks for a ceasefire and hostage exchange as Netanyahu faces pressure to seal a deal following the deaths of 6 Gaza captives. Hamas's Qatar-based lead negotiator Khalil Al-Hayya called on the U.S. to exert real pressure on Netanyahu and his government and abandon their blind bias towards Israel. At least 17 young children were killed in a fire that ripped through their primary school dormitory in central Kenya overnight, with initial reports indicating it was overcrowded. Police say the blaze in Hillside Endarasha Academy in Yeri County broke out at around midnight, engulfing rooms where more than 150 children were sleeping. Police say the average age of the victims was around 9. The school, which caters to some 800 children, is located in a semi-rural area around 170 kilometers north of the capital, Nairobi. Millions of Brazilians, including the president, have flocked to social media platforms such as Threads or Blue Sky, where Portuguese has become the most spoken language in the few days since Elon Musk's X was shut down in the country. Access to the social network, formerly known as Twitter, was blocked on Saturday amid a standoff between Musk and Brazilian Supreme Court Judge Alexandre de Moraes, who has made it his mission to crack down on disinformation. The powerful and controversial judge took the measure after Musk, who calls himself a free speech absolutist, ignored a series of court decisions. In sports, the managing director of Global Television, Ibrahim Biu, has expressed the determination of the station to promote forthcoming 2024 and 2025 Nigerian National League season. Dr. Biu made the plea today when a team from the Nigerian National League paid a courtesy visit to the station, informing it of giving it a broadcast right for the league. Samuel Odi has detail.
Dr. Ibrahim Biu, who welcomed the team, said getting the broadcasting right is a great honor to the station. As such, all hands will be on deck to ensure a smooth broadcast. He also assured them of Global Television's continued support and cooperation at all times.
I think it's an opportunity for us to work together, to promote sport in our country and to show not only in our country but in the other part of the world.
The chairman, Nigerian National League, George Agu, who led the team and also announced the broadcast rights of the 2024-2025 league season to Global Television, says the station also has title and shirt sponsorship, badge partnership, and among others. George stressed the impact of televising the league matches and its success as a major unifying factor in Nigeria and beyond.
When Nigeria play and we win, Sokoto will erupt, Zamfara will erupt, Calabar will erupt, Port Harcourt will erupt, Enugu will erupt, everybody comes together.
The benefits of broadcasting rights to Global Television include increased viewership, more visibility on all social media platforms, and creating more avenues for commercials. The courtesy visit ended with a tour around the facility led by the Managing Director, Global Television, Dr. Ibrahim Biu. Samuel Odi reporting for Global Television News.
Former Italy captain and 2006 World Cup winner Fabio Cannavaro says he turned down the Super Eagles job to wait for offers in the Italian Serie A and other European clubs. Cannavaro was one of the candidates interviewed for the role during the Nigeria Football Federation's race against time to fill the vacant role ahead of the 2025 AFCON qualifiers against the Benin Republic and Rwanda. German coach Bruno Labbadia was eventually announced by the NFF as the new coach of the Super Eagles, but the 56-year-old eventually turned down the offer over stringent German tax laws. Well, that's it on the Global News Cycle, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. We're on DSTV, channel 365, Star Times, channel 276, and free to air on NightGameSat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching, and see you again.